Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So what are the challenges in numerology? The challenges are basically 4 numbers that you were born with that are determined by your birth date that basically determine what type of challenges you will be presented with in this lifetime. So you calculate these numbers based on your birth date, and whatever numbers you get, you are going to basically be dealing with the negative aspects of that number. Now, if you already know what your challenges are, you can go ahead and skip to that part of the video where I talk about what these key negative characteristics tend to be for each number. Now I'm going to show you how to calculate these numbers, and I'm also going to show you basically kind of what you can do to kind of get through some of these challenges, because these are challenges that basically will follow you your entire life, but you can overcome these challenges if you know key things to do for each one. So I'm going to briefly talk about what you can do to basically overcome your challenges. I have challenges just like you and everybody else. I've been able to overcome some of them. There are some challenges that I'm still dealing with, but it is possible to overcome these challenges. But now we're going to get into how to calculate what these 4 challenges are. So to get your first challenge number, you first have to reduce the month, day, and year of birth into single-digit numbers, the way you did to find your life path number. But in this case, master numbers such as 11, 22, and 33 are reduced to a single digit also. So taking the above example, May becomes a 5, 29 becomes a 2, and 1950 becomes a 6. Now the birth date has been reduced to numbers 5, 2, and 6. Take the digits for the month and day, 5 and 2, and subtract the smaller from the larger to find the difference. And in this case, 5 take away 2 is equal to 3. So this person's first challenge number is a 3. For the second challenge number, take the digits for the day and the year, which is a 2 and a 6, and subtract the smaller from the larger. In this example, 6 take away 2 is equal to 4. So this person's second challenge number is a number 4. Your third challenge is going to be your main challenge and your most important challenge. So for the third challenge, you are going to take the first and the second challenge and subtract the smaller from the larger. For this example, 3 is the first challenge and 4 is the second challenge. Therefore, the third and main challenge is found by subtracting 3 from 4 and arriving at number 1. So this person's third and main challenge is a number 1. For the fourth and final challenge, you're going to take the digits of your month and year of birth, which is a 5 and a 6 in this example, and subtract the smaller from the larger to find the fourth and last challenge. So in this example, 6 take away 5 is equal to 1. This person's fourth challenge is a number 1. So if you have number 1 as one of your challenges, it's possible that you could have any of the negative characteristics of the number 1. But typically what I see is that people with this challenge tend to have a little bit of a big ego. Their ego tends to be a little bit inflated, and that's because, 1 is all about the self, it's all about the individual. So people with this number, people that have a lot of this energy in their chart, tend to have bigger egos than other people. So on the negative side of this, you do have a huge ego. So I tend to see that. And then the other thing I noticed is that if you have this challenge, often you will feel like people are trying to dominate over you or control you. So there might have been certain situations that have happened in your life where people that didn't have this challenge wouldn't have thought that they were being controlled or dominated by other people, but because you have this challenge, you might have felt that way, that, somebody was trying to control what you did, the way you felt, what you said, the way you acted. So whenever this comes up in the future, awareness really is the key to helping to get over this challenge. It really helps a lot just to become aware of it. Next time you start to have these feelings, remember that you have this challenge, and that could be one of the reasons why you are feeling that way. So awareness with this challenge number really is everything when it comes to getting over this challenge. So if you have 2 as a challenge number, it's possible that you could have any of these negative characteristics of the number 2 on the negative side. However, what I typically see the most is that people will basically just have very, very sensitive feelings. So feelings get hurt very, very easily, and that's because you're just ultra sensitive, basically. There's not a strong boundary between your energy field and other people's energy fields. And because there's not a strong boundary between them, you can be picking up on other people's energy fields and mistaking that for your own energy. You're picking up on all kinds of energy that you're not even aware of. A lot of times people that have this 2 challenge number are actually empaths and aren't even aware of it. Even if you don't have any of the empathic numbers in your numerological chart, if you have this as one of your challenges, often you are an empath. And there's a lot of good things to this too, right? Like being very intuitive as to what people are feeling and what they're thinking, being able to tell when people are lying to you, being able to tell what people's motives are. So yes, your feelings get hurt easily. You can be very sensitive if you have this 2 challenge, brimming with feelings, and at times your feelings and emotions can overwhelm you if you have this challenge. But one of the best ways to get over this challenge is to protect your energy. So this is actually one of my challenge numbers, and I wear some black tourmaline with me at all times. I don't like to wear jewelry, it's not really my thing, but I'll wear a black tourmaline bracelet, and that helps to protect my energy field from other people's energy field so that I'm not picking up on their energy and mistaking it for my energy. And it's definitely helped me a lot. It's improved my life a lot. I always feel more negative if I'm not wearing it. So that's basically how I have dealt with this challenge. So if you have 3 as one of your challenge numbers, then it's possible that you could have any of the negative characteristics of the number 3 as your challenges. The first main thing that I have noticed with this challenge is a fear of criticism from other people. People will not put themselves out there. They will avoid being in the public because they're worried that people will criticize them or will criticize their forms of expression and creativity. So 3 is the number of self-expression. On the negative side, you have somebody that doesn't want to do that because they are worried that they will be criticized if they put themselves out there. So one of the best ways to get over this part of the challenge is to put yourself out there as much as possible. Do it as much as possible, even if you're worried that people will criticize you. The more you do this, the more you put yourself out there, you will be helping yourself to get over this fear. Most people just tend to be scattered if they have this challenge number, meaning that it's really hard for them to focus on just one thing. They want to do multiple projects and they want to do it all at the same time. So this can be good and it can also be bad. It can be hard for people to get things done and complete tasks if they have this challenge number. But yes, it definitely causes difficulty with focusing and kind of just putting your energy into one thing. And so people typically are scattered with this, and they also tend to be unorganized at times. One of the best ways to get over this challenge is to try to limit yourself. Next time you find yourself taking on multiple projects that you just really don't have the energy to be doing, try to limit it and try to just focus your energy on just a few things, 1 or 2 things. There are also ways that you can become more organized as well. Having an organized house will definitely help you to be a little bit less scattered, and it will also help you with organizational skills. Organizing your car, your house, those are all definitely ways that you can help with this challenge number. So if you have 4 as a challenge number, then it's possible that you could have any of the negative characteristics of the number 4. But typically what I see is that people just tend to be a little bit lazy if they have this challenge number. And it's not that they're lazy, it's just that they don't like to work, or they feel that the work that they're doing is not something that they want to do, or they feel like it's been forced upon them. So they can have difficulty with completing things because, they just don't want to do it. They just feel like it's work that they don't want to do. on the positive side of this number, you have somebody that works very, very hard. And then on the complete opposite negative side of this number, you have somebody that doesn't want to work. And so work can be very, very difficult for them. And typically that's the number one thing that I see with people that have this challenge number. Now, this is actually one of my challenge numbers. And one of the ways that I have gotten over this challenge is, first of all, I've discovered things in life that I actually really want to do. Basically based on my soul's urge number and things like that. So I try to do more of that stuff. That definitely has helped. But also for things that I don't want to do, that basically in life we just have to do, right? Because in life, that's the way it is. There's always going to be things that you don't want to do. For those things, I use a lot of positive reinforcement and rewards. So like if I need to work out that day and I don't want to do it, I will reward myself after I do it, after I finish the task. You know, I always give myself an incentive to do certain things that I don't want to do, but I have to do. And that has really helped me a lot to overcome this challenge. So if you have 5 as one of your challenge numbers, then you could possibly have any of the negative characteristics of the number 5. But typically what I see the most is that people with this challenge number tend to just want an abundance of freedom. And freedom is so important to them, they will have it at any cost. Sometimes they will even sabotage relationships in order to get freedom if they feel like they're being suffocated in a relationship or if their freedom is being taken away from them. They'll go through periods where, you know, they're committed to something, but then suddenly they need to break free and have their freedom again. So that is basically the number one thing that I see with this challenge. And really the best way to get over this challenge is to give yourself breaks. So, you know, if you're in a relationship, let the person know that every once in a while you need to break away, you need to have some space to just kind of explore and kind of do things on your own. Also do the same thing with your job. If you feel like your job is, you know, suffocating you, you want to get away from it, well, don't be afraid to take time off and take breaks from it. So you need to include that into whatever it is that's in your life that you are committing to, relationships, jobs, whatever it is that you feel like you need more freedom in. You know, still be committed to it, but give yourself breaks, give yourself a chance to have a time out, to kind of just, you know, every once in a while to get away and to just do your own thing and to travel, to explore the world, to have fun, you know, to be playful, to do something fun and exciting. And if you can do that, if you can incorporate that into your world somehow, then you will definitely be able to get over this challenge. So if you have a 6 as a challenge number, then it's possible that you could have any of the negative characteristics of the number 6. But typically what I see the most is that people with this challenge number tend to have ridiculously high standards that nobody can live up to. So 6s tend to be perfectionist. They tend to idealize people and put them on a pedestal. And then when people don't live up to those great expectations that they have put onto people, then sometimes they will abandon them. So they have this tendency to expect people and life to be perfect. And so typically if you have this challenge, you will be a perfectionist and you will have really, really high standards for yourself and also for other people. And it can be really hard for other people to live up to those standards. And those standards could be in all parts of your life. You could have really high standards in just certain aspects, or you could just have high standards in general in all areas of your life. Now, this is one of my challenges, and it's one that I still have difficulty with. But one of the ways that I've helped myself with this is I always remind myself that, you know, if something isn't done perfectly, then it's okay. Things in life are not perfect. Nothing is ever going to be perfect. So I always have to constantly remind myself of that, and that really does help. Having the awareness that I have this challenge does help me a lot. Awareness really is everything with this. So, but definitely I have to keep myself in check, and I always have to remind myself that, yeah, things are not always going to be perfect. And it will be something that I will have to remind myself about for the rest of my life. So hopefully that will help you to get over this challenge if this is one of your challenges. So if you have number 7 as one of your challenges, it's possible that you could have any of the negative characteristics of the number 7. But typically what I see is that people with this challenge just tend to be very critical of other people. 7 on the negative side can be hypercritical of itself and of other people. And so what I see the most with this challenge is that people with it are hypercritical. They're criticizing themselves, and so if they're criticizing themselves, they're going to be criticizing other people too. And this can often hurt relationships. Some people might feel like they're being critiqued and criticized, but they're not being given any helpful advice on how to solve, what it is that is wrong. And so it can definitely hurt relationships. A second thing I've noticed with this challenge is that sometimes people can be negative about things. So always looking at things in a negative way instead of seeing the good in a situation or the positive in a situation. So one of the things that you can do to help with this challenge is to just keep yourself in check. Next time you find yourself criticizing something, some situation or some person, then keep yourself in check, remind yourself that you have this challenge. Try to see the positive and the good in every person and what they're doing and in every situation before you jump to the negative and what they're doing wrong or what is wrong about a situation. So always try to see the positive first, and then if you still feel the need to get into the negative side of something or to criticize something, then you can go ahead and do that, but try to see the positive in something first, and that will definitely help you with this challenge. So 8 is the last challenge in numerology. There isn't a number 9 challenge, so 8 is the last one. And if you have number 8 as a challenge, then it's possible that you can have any of the negative characteristics of the number 8. But typically what I see the most is that people with this 8 challenge tend to be extremely frugal to the point where it really starts to impact their lives. So they hate to spend money. They feel as if there's some sort of deficit that, if they spend money, they're not going to get it back. So basically, people with this challenge tend to be a little cheap. That's kind of the way to sum it up. It's not that they don't like to give. They can give other things to people, time, energy, that kind of thing. But when it comes to money, they really have difficulty with spending money. And it could be spending money on themselves. It could be spending money on other people. It's just that they have issues with this, and it's kind of like they have this worry that if they spend this money, they're not going to get it back. They have difficulty understanding the flow that whatever you spend, whatever you give, you always get back in return. Also, sometimes people with this challenge can be very materialistic, focused on status and how they appear to others in the world, and just focused on making money. One of the ways that you can overcome this challenge is understanding that when you worry about spending and when you worry about giving, you're cutting off the flow of the universe giving to you. So, you're blocking it basically. Any worry about spending causes a disruption in the flow of resources to be given to you so that you can continue to spend. And also with giving too. And you want to keep the flow going. So to do that with the universe, you have to, when you spend your money, you just can't worry about it. Whatever you worry about usually will end up happening. So if you worry that spending money is going to make you poor or it's going to hurt you financially, well, then that ends up happening usually. So, refocusing your energy and knowing that whatever you spend your money on, you will always get back, that the universe is taking care of you, the universe has your back, the universe wants you to have the things that you desire in life, and it's okay to buy them and to spend your money on them because you will always be taken care of by the universe. Understanding that will definitely help to keep the flow going, and it will definitely help you with this challenge. So let me know in the comments below if any of this resonated with you. What are your 4 challenges, and have you been able to overcome your challenges? What have you done to kind of help deal with them? And let us know, because I think that could help a lot of people. And also, if you want to book a reading with me and we can go more into depth into your challenges and things that you can do specifically to kind of help get over some of them, you can book a reading with me. I will put the information to that below. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up, and I would love to have you subscribe if you haven't done so already. You can also follow me on Instagram and Facebook. And I want to thank you so much for taking the time to watch this video today. I'm sending you light and love, and I will see you in my next video. Take care.